Well, what we've seen in the press this morning is allegations revolving around hospitality and gift giving in connection with the Beijing Olympics. And this should be a wake-up call to some companies in Australia around the issue of gift giving and entertainment policies. It's essentially one of the first cases we've had in Australia which is really focused on this area. There's been plenty of US prosecutions that have said it's not just about bags of cash. When we talk about bribery, it can involve lavish entertainment, can involve gifts, it can even involve things like charitable donations. And this isn't hopefully news to most Australian companies. When we did a survey, over 80% of them did have a gift-giving policy or an entertainment policy. But for those companies that don't, they should be putting those policies in place. And even those companies that do, they need to be looking at whether those policies have been properly implemented, trained and monitored to make sure they're protecting themselves against these type of investigations.
And the press have reported that the AFP is assisting the US Department of Justice. Why is the US authority running the investigation, and does this suggest that Australia needs a specific regulator in this area?
Yeah, this is interesting because we've essentially got an Australian company and yet the primary investigation is being done by the US authority, even though the alleged events occurred in Australia, China, and allegedly Cambodia. It's not uncommon. It is usually the US regulators that lead on this action. It has been that way for many years. They've had a large number of investigations and prosecutions, and Australia has lagged behind. And the OECD last year criticised Australia for its lack of prosecutions. And it really does call into question, do we need another body that is specifically engaged in investigating this area? And certainly our survey indicated that the majority did think that that was the case. And it also calls into question whether we have sufficient guidance in this area in terms of self-reporting, because companies in the US have a certain amount of guidance in terms of do they get a benefit of self-reporting, whereas here there's a lack of guidance and therefore companies have a really difficult decision to make. If they do identify an issue in this area, should they tell the regulators or should they just keep it to themselves? And it's an area where companies, I think, could do with guidance.
Indeed. Well, Georgie, thanks so much for your insights today.
Thank you.